Welcome to Mainland, your local regional television station, coming to you from the Nelson and Tasman region. In today's news, public alerted after sewage spill into Nelson Haven, Reefton couple who died in train collision named, truck rolls into river at Murchison, heavy rain likely this weekend, and local constable and dog runners-up in police champs. Warning signs are in place after an overflow of untreated sewage into the Nelson Haven. It has come about following the failure of the Attawai Rising main at Marybank, where a leaking pipe was discovered at around 2:30 p.m. on Wednesday afternoon. The leak stopped when the Neil pump station pumps were turned off from 4 p.m. to begin repairs. Repair work started immediately and was completed at 2:30 a.m. on Thursday morning. An estimated 1,600 cubic metres spilled from the pipeline during the repair. The storage chamber at Neil Park Pump Station was utilised and minimal overflow occurred from there. The public is advised not to swim or have water contact at the haven until further notice. Council has liaised with the Nelson Marlborough District Health Board Public Health Service, and warning signs have been erected at the haven, and the ban is expected to remain in force for at least several tidal flushes until the discharge is completely cleared. Council will notify the public when it's safe for recreational activity. Council also reinforces shellfish should not be collected from this area at any time. The Ministry of Fisheries, Department of Conservation, pollution control officials and local iwi have been notified of the spill. Police have confirmed that a husband and wife from Reefton died after their car was involved in a collision with a train on Landing Creek Road in Ngangahua on Thursday. The crash happened shortly before 1 p.m. at an uncontrolled level crossing. Serious crash investigators have been at the scene working to determine the cause of the crash. The names of the deceased will not be released until next of kin have been advised. Meanwhile, there was another accident on the west coast, this time involving a logging truck near Murchison on Thursday morning. The truck has rolled into the Buller River near Doctors Creek, about 3 kilometres north of the township. At the time Mainland recorded this bulletin on Thursday morning, the driver was said to be trapped in the cab in the vehicle. Police and ambulance crews rushed to the scene and a rescue helicopter was on the way. The Nelson region can expect to see gales and heavy rain heading into the weekend. Met Service has issued a severe weather watch with northwest gales on Friday afternoon and evening about western parts of Nelson, coupled with heavy rain which will potentially carry over into Saturday. Met Service advises accumulation may exceed warning criteria. A local senior constable and his dog are amongst numerous police teams which triumphed at the Patrol and Detector Dog Championships held this week. The top 12 police patrol dog teams from around the country competed for national honours at the New Zealand Police Dog Centre at Trentham this week. They were joined by 6 of the best narcotic detector dog teams from police, corrections and customs, and the top 5 explosive detector dog teams from police, aviation security service and customs. Wellington Police dog Ox and his handler Senior Constable Ben O'Connor are this year's National Police Patrol Dog Champions and winners of the Frank Riley Cup for the highest marks overall. Senior Constable O'Connor, who also won the title in 2007 with Patrol Dog Utah, credits his success this year to Ox bringing his best on game day and not being fazed by anything. Meanwhile, Tasman's Senior Constable Pete Greenland, with his patrol dog Gruff, are this year's runners-up. And Constable Cam Gunn and Zyger from Hawke's Bay were 3rd overall and won Commissioner's Challenge Cup for obedience. And now Mainland's Chrissy Small talks more with Mayor Richard Kempthorne about local issues.
Now Richard, Ali Cook, she's known in Tasman, of course. She lives in Tasman and she's a real entrepreneur and musician. She presented to council this concept about a big top. What do you think about that?
It's a great concept. At the moment we don't have the Trafalgar Centre, and clearly the big top has got the potential to seat quite a lot more people than the Trafalgar Centre has anyway. And I mean, the Trafalgar Centre, it's not great sound. Some of the people who would use it prefer not to for music items, but I think it's a great concept. And what they were talking about is using the AMP showgrounds and harness racing and using the facility that we've got there. There's plenty of parking. Probably the biggest challenge that we'll have is if it is needing council to purchase a big top, the struggle for us is going to be, is that going to fit with us and with our attempt to reduce our incidence or reliance on debt? That'll be our biggest challenge. But as far as a concept, it was an excellent concept.
Can you see the potential in a tent, a big top like that, which would draw in bigger shows, of course, to the region? Wouldn't it pay for itself in a short time?
I don't know that. I haven't seen the economic analysis. If it would pay for itself, then it doesn't need the council to buy it. So that is a good question that I hope we hear the answer to.
Community Recycling Network spokesperson Sue Cootes says the government's TV take-back scheme is in a mess, leaving community recycling centres which collect TVs in limbo. Ms Cootes says some RCN e-cycle depots are no longer accepting TVs for recycling and the rest are charging $40 per TV. Meanwhile, a funding shortfall means there is a massive backlog of TVs from TV take-back waiting to be processed. Ms Cootes says RCN e-cycle depots have spent years encouraging people to recycle their electronic waste, and now they have to tell them either they can't recycle their TVs anymore or that they're going to cost $40. She says for most people, $40 is more than they're willing or able to pay to recycle their old TV at the end of its life. She says we're already seeing an increase in people dumping them at the landfill or on the street. TVs contain toxic components such as leaded glass, which shouldn't be put in landfills. 10 bands have been selected from the regional heats to play in the Nelson final of Rockquest this Friday. The top 2 solo duos for Nelson selected at the heats were Gabriella Atkinson from Garran College and Z Shaw from Nelson College for Girls. The top 10 bands to play off this Friday are Eon Venture from Garran College, Fire Without Permit from Nelson College and Waimea College, O Block from Garran College and Nelson College, Paper Scissors from Motueka High School, Richter Scale from Motueka High School, Slim Conviction from Garran College and Nayland College and Waimea College, Toxic Vein from Waimea College, Velocity Nelson College, Celestia from Garran College and Westbrook from Nelson College, Garran College and Nayland College. The Nelson final is at the Theatre Royal this Friday, the 23rd of May, start time 7 p.m. Tickets are $10 for school students and $20 from adults from Ticket Direct or at the venue. After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.